Good morning on day 2. I am headed to Aviles today from Gijon, which is about 15 miles. And as you can see, I'm leaving in the darkness, but I've got a lot of city walking to get out of Gijon, and by the time I do that, the sun will be up. So it's crisp this morning, which is about right for this time of the year, but looks dry so far, and there's a full moon still up there, so I'm on my way. Well, after walking for nearly 2 hours and following these shells that are in the ground and using my Far Out app, I'm still very much in the city of Gijon, walking my way out to where we leave the city and get into the backcountry. Today is supposed to be not such a great day because at both ends of this day we're walking through industrial area. So the guidebook I have says this is probably the least pleasant day of the entire Camino Norte. But we'll see. There's always something good along the way. Well, I'm above the industrial area, but this gives you a good view of what I just walked through. Making the first climb of the day up through kind of a residential area. Too bad these houses overlook that. I'm sure they're not greatly pleased with that. First climb of the day, I think the most climbing I'm going to do today. So until we hit the edge of our next town, final town for today, I think it's going to be mostly rural and pretty, so I need to enjoy this while I can. Well, I made it to the top of the climb. I'm working on mile 5, and we'll get this nice ridge walk along this dirt road with the forest on either side of us. Really nice. Well, it's kind of eerie how quiet it is up here. I haven't seen any other peregrinos. There's no birds. I just don't hear a sound. It's kind of nice, actually. There is a cow or two every once in a while, but otherwise very, very quiet. It beats the noise and the hecticness of the city that I left. Well, I'm descending now into a beautiful little valley. You can hear the sounds of the cowbells and the roosters. Oh, got a nice valley walk right now. Looks to be at least a few miles of this. It's nice because it's shady, and even though it's on a street, there's very minimal traffic. Well, the guidebook promised to begin today for 5 miles in industrial, have a nice section in the middle for about 4 miles, and end in industrial. And I've hit mile 9, and as you can see in the background, it's industrial, and We're walking on a secondary road. The main highway is up there. It might sound like I'm complaining, which I'm not. In any distance and getting across the country, you just literally have to go through, some bad spots. But predominantly, things are so beautiful for 80%, 90%. So you deal with sections like this, which is what I'm going to be doing for the next 5 miles. So we finally made it to what we think is the outskirts of Aviles, and we've got really a nice little walkway lined with trees. Yes, there's some industrial over to our right in the road, but this is actually a pretty way. This is how we end our walk today. And I'm with my new buddy Greg from Ohio. He's been at this now for how many days, Greg?
20 days.
20 days. So he started from Arun, much like I did last year. So he's seasoned, and he has graciously slowed down to walk with me a few minutes today. Well, sometimes the unexpected happens, especially if you allow for it to happen. I am now on a bike path following the river, heading into town, and I had fully expected the full last 5 miles to be industrial on the highway, as the guidebook sort of suggested. But the last 2 miles have been very nice and unexpected, with having this sort of private path and having the river beside me. And of course, there's a road on one side and there's some industrial on the other, but you make what you can out of everything, and this has been a great way to end. It's going to be about 15 plus miles, which is what I expected. This day was a lot easier because there wasn't nearly as much climbing, and it's not going to be 20 miles like it was yesterday. So all in all, a great day, and I'll try and show you some scenes of Aviles, but for now, the sit out. The beautiful Plaza Mayor of Avila. So really pretty down here, and I think I'm going to have lunch/dinner